the Company Raj. Yes, we start doing what are called as, say the word, Regulating Act. First Regulating Act, 1773. We have done 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. We have done centralization, etc. If you were a member of East India Company, if you were an officer of East India Company, will you cooperate with Regulating Act of 1773? Not will you cooperate. Why not? Bilkul. I am the one who worked hard for 173 years. Tum log aaye and you are starting to control us. Okay. Exactly this happened. East India Company did not cooperate with the Regulating Act, and therefore Regulating Act of 1773 is described as a, say the word, failure. Why? Because Regulating Act का purpose क्या था? To regulate East India Company, but it was not able to do it. Why? Because East India Company did not cooperate. One person did not like it, and that was in 1784, the Prime Minister of England at that time, whose name was Pitt the Younger. He was Pitt the Younger because his father was Pitt the Older, who was also the Prime Minister of England. Hence, it was Pitt the Younger who said ki no, we have not been successful in doing what Regulating Act should have done. What was Regulating Act supposed to do? To regulate East India. So Pitt's India Act was passed in 1784. Pitt's India Act used a very important word. They introduced a word called as possession. What is that word called as? Possession. They said that every piece of land which is in India belonging to East India Company is the possession of the British government. Say the word. It is the of the British government. And East India Company is merely holding it in trust. Are you understanding this part? So they are merely custodians. This brings home another point. Whoever controls a country has to control its territory. Are you understanding? So this was not physical occupation, but by law they are saying that there has to be a possession. In India, do you know that every piece of land that you have bought, crores of rupees, do you know this is not your land? Yes. Do you know this? That this land, even if you have bought for 100 crore rupees, this land belongs to the President of India? Yes. Do you know this or no? Yes. Don't sell it off right away, because this is called as perpetual lease. Okay. It is an independent, it is a complete lease with the President of India, which is indefinite. But actually, whose land is this? The state's land. Are you understand? This is in when we do later and Land Acquisition Act, we will do something called as eminent domain. Okay. The entire thing is, this is state's land. Are you understanding? Yes, you have bought it, but this land belongs to the President of India. Why? Because he is the head of the state. This, I hope you are understanding, and I am trying to make you a far more aware law expert. This is why it was called as, say the word. What was the word? Possession. Second contribution of 1784 was it introduced what is called as a dual government or a double government. What was double government? Listen to me very carefully. This was a very cunning move. It was said that from now onwards, the Court of Directors. What is Court of Directors? Everyone? Bolo, what was Court of Directors? The members of the East India Company who were answerable to the British government. They were said that the Court of Directors will only be responsible to take commercial decisions. Every other political, administrative or military decision will be taken by what is called as Board of Control. Say the word, Board of Control. And Board of Control will be appointed only by the British government. So what are you reducing? You are reducing the power of East India Company. What was East India Company prior to this doing? They were doing, say the word. They were doing, and they were doing. The Pitt's India Act made them do only commercial. The political, administrative, and military control went to the British government. Are you understanding? So what are the two contributions of Pitt's India Act? Say the word. Number one, introduce the word possession. Second, introduce the word double government. Last, they also said one more thing. That from now onwards, laws which will be applicable in India will be ratified by the British Parliament. That means we were actually doing nothing else but outsourcing our law system to England. Are you understanding? So, our government will now be controlled by some place in England. Are you understanding? So, the three contributions of Pitt's India Act were: number one, introduction of the word called as possession. Number two, and number three, ratification by the British Parliament. Are you clear? Of the word. Let me see if you are all understanding the entire thing. What are the three things or the three directions in which everything is going? One, we are doing, say the word, centralization of governance in India. Second, we are gradually decreasing the power of East India Company. Everyone is with me over here? Okay. 1793 was the next regulating act. It is an act which was hardly any changes with this. Only thing was centralization continued. And gradually East India Company's powers were also gradually reduced. Nothing very substantial about it, so we are not going to study much about it. The next regulating act was 1813. Now again, not very big contribution except for one thing. This act, now please understand, when East India Company had come to India, they had come under what is called as a charter. Charter was a license. But the funny part was that East India Company was the only company allowed to trade in India. Are you understanding this part? Okay. When East India Company had come to India, they had come under what is called as, say the word, monopoly. So East India Company was allowed monopoly of trade in India and China, for that matter, to trade in India. Now something happened around this time. Around this time, a gentleman called as Napoleon Bonaparte started creating a huge headache for England. The Emperor of France was winning battles after battles against England, and once England was lost into several of these battles, Napoleon Bonaparte passed what is called as a Decree of Berlin. Say the word, Decree of Berlin, and the Decree of Milan. These Decree of Berlin and Milan in 1806 and 1807 were like sanctions. You must have heard of these words very often now. America places sanctions very often nowadays. This was also a type of sanction against England, and Napoleon Bonaparte announced that any European country which will trade with England will have to pay a very high amount of tax to Bonaparte. Are you understanding? England came into a very huge financial trouble. Are you understanding? Because of this Decree of Berlin. So now, where will England get money from? From most of its colonies, and the biggest and the most famous of its colony, the Golden Sparrow, was us. India was the only source of money for this deficiency for England, but India was being under the monopoly of only one company, that was East India Company. So to increase the money coming from India, England allowed other companies also, so that other companies can go and get more money from India in order to compensate for Napoleon Bonaparte's sanction. Are you understanding? So remember, history is not a dry subject. There has to be some reason, and that is why the Act of 1813 ended the monopoly of East India Company in India. So again, remember, East India Company had come under a monopoly of charter. Remember, what is the regulating act of function? To regulate the terms and conditions of the charter. So what was the change here? From now onwards, East India Company will not be the only company to trade. There will be other companies also. So only for one sake, 1813 Regulating Act is important. And what is the purpose of that 1813 Act? It ended the, say the word, Are you understanding? I say nobody is going to ask you this, but just for your remembrance, you should know, and for your understanding, that it was primarily because of the Napoleonic Wars. Are you understanding this part? So just to recap, 1773 was the first step of centralization. East India Company is getting reduced. 1793, you are continuing centralization. You are reducing East India Company. 1813 was a major shock to East India Company because it ended the monopoly of East India. Are you clear with this part? Okay, copy the board. Next is Regulating Act of 1833. Now, as I said, this is a very important regulation act, and this will actually open the ways to our new model governance or the adoption of parliamentary democracy that we were talking about till now. Now, till now, everything was happening pretty much behind the curtains, right? For the first time, everything came out in the open, the actual intention. Everyone please pay attention. So we are looking at the next Regulating Act of 1833. Now this is again India. This is Governor General of Bengal. This is, say the word, Governor of Bombay. And this is Governor of Madras. For the first time, a huge step was taken. All legislative powers were taken from Governor of Bombay, and all legislative powers were taken from Governor of Madras and were handed over to Governor General of Bengal. That Governor General of Bengal therefore became what is called as Governor General of India. This is, I hope everyone knows this name, William Bentinck. Can I say that this was the last and the final step of centralization of governance in India? Everyone is clear on this part? So the centralization of governance in India was completed by which Regulating Act? 1833. When did it start? Don't forget these 2 years, these matter. The second very important step with this act was East India Company. East India Company was now told, dear East India Company, you are merely an administered body of the British Crown. What does that mean? That you are merely a company now with almost no decision-making power. This was the beginning of the end of East India Company. Are you clear? The third and the most crucial part was the beginning of your system. Bureaucracy. Impossible. Practically impossible. This was the reason why East India Company was not going. And I'll tell you the reason now. The reason to this was bureaucracy. At that time, the civil services or East India Company, the civil services or bureaucracy was broadly divided into two types. One was called as the lower civil services, and the other one was called as the higher civil services. Everyone please pay attention. You should know the birth of your profession at least. Higher civil services were also called as covenanted services. They were under a covenant or an agreement. Covenanted services, lower civil services, however, open to all of us. That means